Hello everybody and welcome back to the Entertainment Brick Show. So ever since we got word about what the new LEGO D2C Batcave set is going to be, it's based off of Batman Returns, which is the Tim Burton Batman movie from 1992. Ever since we've gotten that information, I have been wanting to make a video about what I think the Batcave could have been and what I think would have made it better in this case. So if you don't know, again, it was revealed to be a Batcave based off of the 1992 movie Batman Returns, which is the Tim Burton movie. It has Danny DeVito as Penguin in it, Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman, obviously Michael Keaton as Batman. So it's going to be much more characters based off of Batman Returns versus a comic book or LEGO original Batcave or D2C Batcave that I was hoping for originally. So I basically kind of mapped out what I think would have been a better Batcave choice than the actual Batman Returns Batcave. So I have like one that's mostly based off of like comic books or an original idea with more comic book based characters or minifigure characters, as well as some villain characters as well that we're going to run through. We're going to run through all the figures that I think should be included. There's 20 of them. It would just be the same price, kind of same information regarding that stuff, same price, same piece count. And then there's also all the builds as well, the side builds as well as the main builds are also going to be highlighted in this video. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of map out what I think would have been a better choice for a better Batcave for this actual D2C set. Again, I'm not too excited for the Batman Returns Batcave. I just don't think it was a good choice for a Batcave. And I think a lot of people also agree from what I've seen on Instagram comments and such. A lot of people are kind of getting a little disappointed that it wasn't actually a comic book Batcave. It is, in fact, a Batman Returns Batcave. I'm still excited for the build itself. I'm not so excited for the minifigures, unfortunately, but, you win some, you lose some, I guess. So we are going to go right into it with the 20 figures that I think would be included in a Batcave of a comic book, Batcave instead of the Batman Returns Batcave. So let's get into that. So this Batcave that I have in mind is going to feature 20 minifigures. I think $450 for 20 minifigures is a pretty valid price, Price per minifigure ratio there, I think, is alright. So we have 10 hero characters as well as 10 villain characters, starting with Batman. So it's just going to be, obviously, it's a Batcave. It's got to include Batman somewhere. This is going to be a newer design Batman with a completely different design that we've never seen before. I don't know. I haven't really thought too deep into what kind of version of Batman this would be. I was thinking maybe like a blue version to kind of make it a little bit more unique, but then again, it could also be a different version of like the gray and black or a full-blown black suit. I don't know. But some sort of new Batman version is what I'm thinking here. Next is Robin. And instead of having the typical Tim Drake, Jason Todd, Dick Grayson, like those kinds of Robins, instead it would actually be the Carrie Kelly Robin, which is the female Robin. And she was in, I believe, a couple of comics as well as, I think it was the Dark Knight Returns animated movie. I think she was featured in as well because she was the Robin to that Batman in that world. So to kind of make this unique, to have a unique and exclusive Robin minifigure, it would be the Carrie Kelly version because we never got a Carrie Kelly version of Robin before in LEGO. So I figure this would be a pretty cool place to have her be Robin in this set here. Next is going to be Nightwing, and this Nightwing is going to have a classic design. So obviously, where people are familiar with the design of Nightwing, where it's like the symbol, the blue symbol, and then he has like his hair is small blue mask, and then there's also like I think a red version as well for New 52. That design is like red. So there's obviously those versions which we've gotten before in previous sets, but there's also a classic Nightwing outfit that basically it seems very, very different from the typical Nightwing outfit that I feel like would be kind of cool to include here, just considering the different design of Nightwing. So next is going to be Batgirl, and Batgirl is going to be her purple design based off of the LEGO DC Supervillains video game. So there was, I think, level 2, I think it was, where at the end of the cutscene or something along, I think it was the end of the cutscene, Joker was driving this giant tanker truck, and basically Nightwing and Batgirl were featured in this scene, or in this sequence, where Batgirl had a completely purple designed suit and everything, very new suit that hasn't been seen before in actual LEGO, so I figured why not include it in this set here. Then the next figure is going to be some sort of version of Alfred. Doesn't really matter to me. I mean, we've gotten I think there's only been a couple of Alfreds. I know there was one in the 1966 Batcave. There was an Alfred version. There was also Alfred from the LEGO Batman movie. And I think that was really it for Alfred minifigures. Oh, I guess you can count the one from the Batman, which is the one played by Andy Serkis. That was also included. So in one of the previous sets. So I'm saying a nice classic version of Alfred. We've never gotten a proper classic version of Alfred before, unless it's from the original, like 2000, I think it was like 2006, 2004 Batman line. I'm thinking, black suit, has like, a plate as an accessory, just like one's, the classic Alfred design, the common Alfred look, I think would be perfect for this set here. Then another character that I thought would be kind of cool to include. This is a lot of like these next 5 characters are a lot of like interesting Bat family members to include. So the first one here is Duke Thomas, also known as the Signal. This would be a really cool Batman variant or like Bat family member because this variant has a full-blown yellow suit, kind of has a similar like design to a Batman suit, but it's all yellow. Very, very cool design. I think this would be a great figure to have. Very colorful figure, again, with the yellow that I think could be included here to kind of contrast all like the darkness of the cave and such. I think this would be a great minifigure to include. A character we've never gotten before, as well as a really unique minifigure to include. Next, we have Lucas Fox, aka Batwing. Batwing is a character that I've wanted to get in LEGO for a little while now. I feel like he would fit really, really well into a LEGO DC minifigure series, but obviously we haven't gotten a sequel to that minifigure series yet. I think there's still a possibility we could. Hopefully there is. I love that minifigure series, but yeah, Lucas Fox, Batwing. I think he could fit really well into a minifigure series. If he's not in a minifigure series, throw him in this awesome comic book based Batcave. I feel like he would fit really well in here. Again, another darker suit based off of like kind of like the same style of the Batman kind of suit, but much more darker, much more armored and such. So I think that would be a really cool figure to include. Next character here is Harper Row, aka Bluebird. This is a very interesting character that I don't really know too much about. I do know that she is a part of the Bat family. I think she's a very cool looking minifigure. I feel like her hairpiece would be so cool to have because it's all like the blue and stuff like that. She's a very, very cool design. Again, she's probably a lesser known Bat family member, and she probably isn't used too much in the comics and such. But regardless, I feel like she would be a really cool minifigure to have just because she is a part of the Bat family and she has a very cool design. So why not throw her in here? The next character here is Stephanie Brown, aka Spoiler. Spoiler is another character that I was kind of wanting to get in some sort of LEGO DC minifigure series. I feel like she would fit very, very well into that. Kind of, LEGO, whatever, the minifigure series she would fit well into. But if she can't be in a minifigure series, throw her into this comic book Batcave because she is a Bat family member. I believe Stephanie Brown was previously a Robin who then became, or a Batgirl or Robin, I don't remember, who then became her own kind of vigilante known as the Spoiler. So I feel like she would be a very cool minifigure to get, the purple design with like the cape and the hood and such. Be very, very cool. Then the next character, the last kind of like hero character here, is some sort of variation of Bruce Wayne. Every Batcave typically has some sort of variant of Bruce Wayne included, so to keep up with that tradition, I figured I would include some sort of version of Bruce Wayne. Doesn't really matter to me. He can, he can look as simple as can be. It doesn't really matter. It's all about the other minifigures here. So that is our first 10 heroes. Now let's move on to our villain characters to be included here. So now we are on to our next 10 villain minifigures here, starting with the Joker, some sort of new version of the Joker. I was thinking a version of the Joker, to make this very different, a version of the Joker kind of based off of, or loosely based off of, the Joker design from the Batman 2004 animated TV series, where he kind of has like longer hair, he's barefoot, he has like the similar kind of like Joker coat and such, but there are also a couple of different designs that he has where he has like really long sleeves and like an orange vest on. So there's a couple of designs that they could maybe work with based off of that 2004 series, but I feel like a new Joker version would be amazing. They've done a lot of Joker versions just because he's typically a character included in a Batmobile set. It would be like a different version of Batman and a different version of Joker. But I feel like to really solidify a Joker variant that's very, very different to really have and stand out in this set, I think that 2004 version of the Joker, or variation of the Joker, would work very, very well with, again, the long hair, bare feet, and that kind of different design with like the longer sleeves and orange vest. He was also very acrobatic in that show. Not that that really translates anything to the minifigure, but just kind of to have a very different version of Joker, I feel like could really work. And also those big eyes, too. I think that'd be really, really cool looking. So, yeah, Joker, new version of Joker. Next is a character that I've been wanting for a long time. I wish they would include him in a set, but it is Clayface as a minifigure variation. So we've gotten 2 Clayfaces, one from the LEGO Batman movie, which is an incredible build, an incredible set there, which is a great Clayface. And there's also one included in the 2019 Batcave for $100. Very, again, a pretty cool looking Clayface. Not as cool as the LEGO Batman movie one, but a cool looking Clayface build, you know. But for LEGO DC Supervillains, you were able to play as Clayface. He was one of the characters that you were first got, I think, in the second level or something like that. And he was a minifigure. He was able to turn into a big figure. Not to say that the big figure would be included in here, but I want to see a Clayface in minifigure form. So have him be in this set as one of the villains. And with this set being a D2C set, maybe, you know, a little bit more for adult collectors, I figured I could maybe include some of the notable villains of the DC comics, or at least the Batman DC comics, that are a little bit more mature, that have done a little bit more, like, you know, darker things. So, one of those characters, that's why I'm bringing this up here, is going to be Hush, who is, Thomas Elliot? Is that his name? I forget what his name is now, because of course, right, I'm blanking as I start recording, but, basically Bruce Wayne's friend, he becomes this character named Hush. He has bandages wrapped around his face. He uses like plastic surgery to make him to have himself look like Bruce Wayne and such. So a very, very cool character. He uses guns and things, but he's a very, very cool character. LEGO has never made this character in actual LEGO form, even though he's included in a couple of LEGO Batman video games to be a playable character as. He's just never been an actual LEGO minifigure, so why not include him in here? Again, this is with the price being so expensive, and maybe the set even being 18 plus. I actually don't know if it's 18 plus, but with the potential that it could be an 18 plus set, I feel like some of these more darker kind of more mature Batman villains that are still very, very notable, but again, very much more mature, could be included in a Batcave like this here. So Hush is our next character. Next here is the Mad Hatter. This is another LEGO minifigure that we've never actually gotten, even though he has appeared in LEGO video games, or at least the LEGO Batman video games. Mad Hatter's a pretty cool character, you know. He's very, very cool, like, especially in the Arkham series. The Arkham series is specifically where I'm kind of picking from here. I feel like his green hat design with like the card sticking out would be a really, really amazing molded piece. You know, I think his outfit, you know, with the coat and everything, with the green coat to look like the Mad Hatter, or have a teacup or something, I don't know. I feel like he would fit pretty well into this set here as, again, another colorful version to kind of contrast with that dark Batcave. But I think he would be a really cool character to include here because we've never gotten him before, and I just think Mad Hatter's a pretty cool character. The next character here is a version of Bane. I haven't seen a Bane minifigure in a long while. I think not since 2012, right? There hasn't been another Bane minifigure recently. There was a Big Fig Bane in the LEGO Batman movie sets, which was a great Big Fig, amazing Big Fig design, but there hasn't really been too many Bane minifigure variations. There was only the one from 2012, there was the one from The Dark Knight Rises, and then there was also a Microfighter, or not a Microfighters, a, what are those things called? Like those little sets that come with like the mini versions of the figures. They're not called Microfighters. I don't don't remember what they're called, but there was a version of Bane in one of those sets. And I'm saying, let's get a new Bane. Let's get a new variation of Bane. Make him more look like the kind of like luchador kind of look for Bane, because he, you know, there are different versions of Bane, and why not include him in here, because we haven't gotten a Bane in a little while. So there you go. There's our next character. Next up is the ventriloquist with the puppet Slappy, I think his name is, right? No, Scarface. God, no, wait. I don't know. He's probably had a couple different names in the past. I don't remember what it is, but the ventriloquist, probably most notable from the Batman animated series TV show. Very, very cool character. Has this puppet who has a gun and kind of controls him. He's like this crime boss character. Would be a very interesting minifigure. We have seen him in LEGO DC Supervillains. He was a playable character there. with the puppet, with the Scarface puppet, and I feel like he'd be a really cool character to include here. I mean, I think he was also featured in some of the Batman Arkham games as well. So he's definitely been around, this ventriloquist character, and I feel like he would be a very, very cool minifigure to have here. Even though it's a generally simple design for the ventriloquist himself, the puppet design, the puppet build for him to be kind of like sitting on the minifigure hand, I think would be really, really cool looking. Next character here is Anarchy. This is kind of like a personal pick for me because I'm a big fan of the Beware the Batman show. That was like a one-season Batman show that was on Cartoon Network, and I thought it was a really cool show. I really loved it. Even though it was kind of like a bland animation and such, I still enjoyed it. I thought it was really cool how they brought in like Deathstroke and everybody. So Anarchy was one of the characters that Batman fought in this show. It was kind of like a common villain to fight, and I don't know, I really liked his design. I like the white look for him. I like the cape and everything, and I like the white hood as well on Anarchy, and I feel like he'd be a very, very cool character to have included here. Anarchy has appeared in the past in other, I think he was most notably, I think, like, there was, like, the Anarchy Gang in, was it Gotham Knights? Was it the Anarchy Gang? I don't remember, but Anarchy has appeared in the Batman Arkham games. He's also appeared in Beware the Batman, which is the show I'm referring to. And he's also, been in the comics. There's been different versions of Anarchy before, and I feel like he'd be a very cool character to have included here. Next character is Lady Shiva, another character from most notably probably the Batman Arkham games, and another character who's a little bit more of a mature kind of, character to include. She is an assassin, and she has a very, very cool design. Again, I mostly know her from the Batman Arkham games, so I'm just going to base her design off of that video game. So I'm thinking she's going to have, like the full-blown like vest on and stuff with the red, and then she'll have her sword, obviously, so she'll be a very cool character to include here. Next, we have Black Mask, another character that I was kind of hoping would be in a LEGO DC minifigure series, but has obviously not appeared because there hasn't been a second LEGO DC minifigure series. Black Mask, again, another character in the Arkham games. He's been in, I was going to say he was in the LEGO Batman movie, but he wasn't. He's in, what else is he in? No, he's in a lot of things. He may have been in the LEGO DC Supervillains. He may have been in DC Supervillains. If not, I believe he was in previous LEGO Batman games. Regardless, he's a character that I want. I want a very cool crime boss character that we've never really gotten before in LEGO, and I feel like he would be a very cool character with obviously the main kind of attraction piece for this minifigure would be the head print with the actual Black Mask design. Next, or our final figure here, is a variation of Scarecrow. There was recently a new design for Scarecrow. I forget what the comic was for. Infinite Frontiers, I think it was what it was called. I could be completely off with that, but it's a different kind of Scarecrow variation, different kind of Scarecrow design that I really, really, really like, and I'd love to get a minifigure of. So a new Scarecrow variation is our last minifigure included here, and that is not only all 10 villains, but all 20 minifigures. Now let's get on to the builds of the set here. Now we have the builds of this Batcave set, starting with our side builds here. So our side builds include a large removable bat computer, similar to the Batman movie. Batcave set had a bat computer that you could kind of like slide in and out and then replace with the Batmobile. Not necessarily to that extent, but there is going to be a very large bat computer build that is able to be removed from the middle section, just to make it easier to play with, I guess. I don't really know why, but I just figured that would be kind of an interesting thing to include. Another build would be a bat bike build. There wouldn't be a Batmobile included in this set, just because I feel like it would kind of have to include... It would take away too many pieces from the actual Batcave build itself. So I feel like a bat bike build would be the next best thing to include here, especially considering the Batcave actually has a vehicle kind of area in it, which we'll talk about later. But a nice bat bike build doesn't have to be utilizing the common LEGO bike molds that like you put something over it and then kind of build off from there. It could probably be a more of a bulkier kind of bat bike, but regardless, just something smaller than a Batmobile to kind of include here. And then there's also going to be like TNT and other weapons and other accessories for the villain characters to kind of storm the Batcave, as well as, tons of batarangs, different grapple hook builds and such for all the different Bat family members. So a lot of that kind of like just random accessories to include in here. And then for our main builds, obviously going to be a ginormous, massive Batcave that can close up. Like the full cave build is built out, so you can close it all in if you want to for like easy travel or easy whatever display. And the middle section of the Batcave will feature the Batcomputer with rock stairs that kind of lead up to like the seat in the full blown Batcomputer. When I say this Batcomputer will be massive, it will be huge, just kind of spanning like a high amount of the wall and such, with all different, probably stickers, unfortunately, highlighting different things for all the different villains and characters. And then the left side of the Batcave will feature a kind of like a, what is that spinning thing called? Like kind of a spinning thing that cargo is a Lazy Susan, I think it's called. I don't remember what it's called. Anyways, that kind of thing for a Batmobile, or in this case, a Bat bike to fit onto. I'm kind of imagining LEGO would also release a Batmobile to kind of go along with this Batcave, where you can actually put the Batmobile to go along with this Batcave, but obviously the Batmobile isn't included in this set. And then on the right side is just kind of everything else that you would need in a Batcave. So there's like a gadgets wall, a jail cell, a suit wall, as well as other accessories like the giant T-Rex, the giant penny, giant Joker card, etc. All those kind of like memorabilia that Batman has in his cave would be also on this right side. So that is my idea for a ginormous, massive Batcave to be included, or to be made, rather than the Batman Returns Batcave, which, again, I'm excited for the build for that one. Not so excited for the minifigures. I feel like the minifigures in this idea were definitely more desirable minifigures than the ones that are going to be included in the Batman Returns Batcave. Regardless, I'm still excited for that Batcave because a massive, $450 Batcave sounds amazing. I just wish it was comics, and this is kind of my idea for, or how I envisioned the comics Batcave could look like. So, if you enjoyed that video, if you liked my idea for a Batcave, please share your idea for a LEGO Batcave, a giant LEGO Batcave in the comments. And if you enjoyed that video, do the common YouTube stuff, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys later. See ya.